Are you going to call me doctor?
Yeah, no.
uh, no, regardless of what people think of this play-in situation, there is something dangling out there for you guys in these last 12, 13 games. How does that feel, and does it sort of make up for the nonsense of the year?
Um, I mean, it certainly gives us a sense of direction and purpose. For what's been pretty inconsistent year with a lot of ups and downs and things moving, a lot of different moving parts. So yeah, I mean we're in a good spot right now. I think we have a collective understanding of what's going on a day-to-day basis. Right now, yesterday was a good start for us to all kind of be back out there together. So just got to stay locked in and keep trying to improve each day, each practice, each game, and we'll be able to live with where we land.
Nick seems to have settled on the two centers, Cam and Freddie Gillespie. How much change does that bring about for you other four guys to have a big, legitimate body center behind you?
Yeah, I mean it's just been a different experience for sure. It was a different feel, different look. A little rim protection, a little more rebounding. And those guys have come in with great energy and enthusiasm, and it we gotta try to make the most of what we got with what we got, and those both of those guys have come in and definitely been a bonus to our club so far. So we're happy with what we're getting from them. It's just more so getting those guys up to speed and the way that we want to play and the rotations and the game plan and the sets and all those other little things. But they're picking up pretty fast.
Thanks, Fred. Appreciate the time as always.
Thanks, Doug.
Next question goes to Michael Grange from Sportsnet.
Hey, stranger. How you doing?
Mike, how you doing?
I'm well, thank you. I'm well. Um, last night was the first night the you four, OG, Kyle, yourself, and Pascal had all played together in like a month. But your numbers as a group are quite good. Those four-man lineups. What do you make of the rest of the team as compared to say in March when you guys were struggling so badly? Do you think that there's enough in addition to you guys to be a dangerous opponent?
Yeah, for sure. It's just more so putting it together. That's the hardest part about this league is I thought all of those guys looked great when nobody was playing. You know what I mean? It's 30 plus minutes, 10, 20 shots out there to be had, and those guys are skilled and talented enough to put together good performances. So hopefully they can use that experience and try to bottle that up. I thought Utah was great last night, came in, made some shots. And that's what it's about is getting that experience when they were able to play extended minutes and trying to bottle that up into a role coming off the bench, which is much harder than it is to go play the whole game. So that'll be the challenging part, but I think the it's there. You know what I mean? It's there. It's just a matter of can they do it in limited opportunity with a limited role, and that'll be the challenge for sure.
I appreciate that, Fred. Take care. Have a good evening.
You too.
Next question goes to Josh Lewenberg from TSN.
What's up, Fred?
What's up, Josh?
Not much, man. Also wanted to ask you about Kem and Freddie. I mean, obviously you've played against Kem quite a bit over the last few years. I'm not sure how familiar you were with Freddie coming in, but is there anything that you've learned about those two guys? Anything that has surprised you about what they've brought here over the last 2 weeks?
No, not really. Nothing surprising. Obviously, I didn't know either one of those guys prior to this, so just learning them as people and building a bond there off the court. But on the court, that's the easy part for me is just more so like I said, trying to get them up to speed and the reads and getting those guys comfortable with playing with us. As we all have a pretty good chemistry, especially that core four of us. So just sprinkling in the rest of those guys and getting them acclimated has been the good part. But as long as the defense and rebounding is there, the rest of that stuff we'll be able to figure out.
You guys have spent so much time playing small this year, almost by necessity, or by necessity, I should say. What's the biggest difference for you guys, specifically, I guess, for the guards, for you and Kyle, when you got the big bodies in there? Is it the rim protection in the defense, or sorry, the rebounding, or is there something else?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a little bit, little bailouts. The small bailouts when you get beat and they're there to block the shot, or when you work your butt off for 23 seconds out of possession and you actually come up with the rebound instead of the other team getting it or going out of bounds. So those are the morale plays, number one, but also the energy plays where, that's a deflating to work that hard and not come up with the rebound or play perfect defense, and you're just not big enough. You know what I mean? Speaking for myself, at least, like me and Kyle can make as many rotations as we want to. At the end of the day, we're still the size that we are, and this league has got the best players in the world in it. So it's just good to have those bodies down there, offensively and defensively.
Cool. Thanks, Fred. Take care, man.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Eric Kareen from The Athletic.
Fred, good to see you. How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
I'm all right. Excuse me if I have the dates wrong, but just trying to get it straight. You came off the injury report. You served your 1-game suspension for your malicious malfeasance. Returned to play, then played 23 minutes, sat, and then came back. As far as you feel, is your hip injury behind you? Is it as good as it's going to get without, actually sitting down for months? What's sort of the status?
I'm day to day, Eric. Day to day. It's some days I feel good, some days I don't. We're at that point in the season now. So one of those things that we're just keeping an eye on. For a while there was a stretch where we just wanted to get under control and let it heal properly. And then getting back out there for an Orlando game and trying to figure it out after that. So I'm working on it. I'm maintaining it every day. I don't think it's anything serious, but it's definitely been a nuisance, for the last 2-3 weeks. So just trying to get that under control.
We're on different subject. We're all waiting for news on Chris, and hopefully it's good news, or as good as the news can be. From your perspective, what has it been like watching him go from like sort of energy guy, 10th guy to, the guy he played in every game, but also has been like a very important player for you guys?
It's been beautiful, man. It's been beautiful to watch. It's so fun to watch him. He's got that slingshot, and he's out there. He's got no fear. He's got a great joy and spirit for the game. As you get to know him, you get to learn him and understand the things that he's been through and what's got up to this point. And you just, it's hard not to root for a guy like that. So it's fun to be a point guard with him, just because he's still got 99% of basketball that he has to learn, and he's out there doing that, all off of his skill and his talent and his will and his joy for the game. And there's so much more room for him to grow as a basketball player. That's the fun part for me.
Thanks, Fred. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Going to do 3 more questions for you, Fred. First one goes to Aaron Rose from SI.com.
Hey, Fred.
What's up, man?
I like your malicious intent. That was a good line. I'm wondering what it's like playing with those 2 new centers in terms of the pick and roll. It seems like they're attracting some attention, even though they're maybe not totally up to speed. Do you feel like they're getting used to that, and do you feel like it's working?
Yeah, I mean, you just got to put pressure on the rim. You got to have a threat. You got to either be a great screener or a great roller or both, or pick and pop. You got to have it all. And both of those guys are putting pressure on the rim with their speed, their screens. They're rolling down the lane. They're getting offensive rebounds. They're just taking up space. They're playing a dunker. It gives you another dynamic to pick and roll where, most of this year, whoever had the ball in a pick and roll was usually shooting it. That was like our best option for a lot of the year, just because of the dynamic of the team. But I think those 2 right now have added a layer where we're getting some rolls. Kyle threw it up to Kim a couple of times. Both of those guys are capable of passing out, making the next read, also finishing. So it's just, we're going to continue to learn and grow with them and get them up to speed with the rest of us. But so far, so good.
Do you feel like the other night it seemed like OG was getting a lot of points off of somebody collapsing in to defend them, and you guys were finding kick out opportunities? Do you feel like they're attracting that attention so that you can, even though they might not be scoring or statistically involved in the play, that it's there for other guys to make plays?
Yeah, they're drawing a lot of attention, and OG was wide open. They were just kind of leaving him. They weren't really guarding him. His man was being a help guy a lot, and it happens. It happens from game to game. Some nights it'll be P, some nights it'll be OG. Rarely is it me and Kyle, but there's nights when me and Kyle get a bunch of wide open looks, and OG stepped up and knocked him down. So he was the guy that was getting them, and we just continued to try to find him, and knowing that he would be open and try to set up the action to get that reaction that you're talking about.
Awesome. Thanks, Fred.
All right.
Hi, Fred. While you were out, we saw you a lot on the TV broadcast and stuff like that. Putting an arm around Malachi. You and Kyle specifically, obviously, always going towards him, gravitating towards him. What's been that one message you've been trying to send Malachi during these games where he sort of had an opportunity here to play 30+ minutes routinely?
Just coaching them through some of the reads, what to look for, but more so than not, just being supportive, just being there to keep him confident, understanding that some of those mistakes he's going to make regardless. There's nothing he can do about it. It's just part of being a rookie, and you just got to stay confident. I think at first he was just shooting as a defense mechanism because some of the reads are happening fast and some of the plays, but just remind him to keep making the reads, throw the pocket pass, gnashing out a little bit, letting the game develop, and it'll get easier over time. And then when you get the shots, you got to step up and knock them down. But I think he's been great. His defense has been great. He's going to continue to develop as a playmaker, and the scoring ability is there. So it's just a matter of making shots.
And have you heard the comparisons between Malachi to yourself? I believe there's a nickname out there that links
yeah. That's the best nickname I heard since I've been in Toronto. So I've been calling him that since the day I saw that. I saw that on Twitter pretty early. So I call him Red for sure.
So you see the similarities though, a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. It's hard to hide, but he's got a little bit a different game than I got, but it's definitely there. It's scary how much the personality is similar. That's kind of where I feel like I'm literally talking to my younger brother when I'm talking him through some of the stuff. So he's went out of his way to get under me and Kyle, and we're just trying to speed up his process best we can.
All right, thanks, Fred.
Thank you.
Going to finish off with Cassidy Hubworth from ESPN.
Hey, Fred. How you
What's up?
doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I just wanted to ask you about Gary. And you talk about it's great to have the core four back, but also get the other guys acclimated. When it comes to Gary, and basically you said that he feels like Toronto's a perfect fit for him. How would you describe his impact and really his presence on this team so far?
He's been great. I think it's a little weird because he came in at a time where nobody was playing. So he came into a bunch of shots and a bunch of minutes, and he relished that moment and that opportunity. And he's a heck of a shooter and a scorer. So he made a bunch of shots and actually, gave us a big boost right away when he first got here. So I think the tough part, like I said earlier, is going to be for him to try to redefine that role into what it looks like with a full team. But I'm confident that he'll figure it out. Last night was a little bit of, you could kind of see him out of place a little bit, trying to figure it out in limited minutes. But he's got to get up to speed with the way that we play, our defensive principles. We know the scoring is there. That's not a concern. He's one of the best young shooters in the NBA, and it's just a matter of getting them on the same page and finding that niche where he could be that spark plug offensively for us, and the rest of the stuff is easy for him. But he'll be fine. I'm not worried about Gary.